Let me tell you about the day the Krel'nax Confederacy decided to negotiate with humanity. Spoiler alert, it didn't go well. Not well at all. Ambassador Krill Vex'tar adjusted his ceremonial translator collar, his 6 iridescent eyes blinking with a combination of supreme confidence and profound ignorance. Behind him, his diplomatic entourage represented the most sophisticated species in the known galaxy, a fact they repeated so often it had become a galactic inside joke. Humans are a primitive species, Vex'tar dictated to his junior attaché, Krel'nax, barely capable of interstellar communication. They'll be appropriately submissive when we explain the terms of their integration into the Confederacy. Krel'nax nodded, carefully recording the ambassador's words. The diplomatic shuttle gleamed with advanced technology, force shields, quantum communication arrays, and enough diplomatic immunity to make a UN lawyer weep. They had protocols for every possible scenario, every single scenario, except, as it turned out, dealing with humans. The shuttle's approach to Earth was picture perfect, sleek, calculated, arrogant. They'd selected a landing zone near Geneva, the historical center of human international diplomacy, a symbolic location that would demonstrate the Krel'nax commitment to peaceful negotiations. What could possibly go wrong? Initiate first contact protocol, Vex'tar announced, his voice dripping with condescension. Activate universal translation matrix. To prepare diplomatic credentials. Krel'nax's tentacles twitched nervously. Something about this felt off. But who was he to question the grand design of the Confederacy? Certainly not a lowly attaché with a mere 3 centuries of diplomatic experience. Little did they know, humanity was about to teach them a lesson in unexpected consequences. A lesson written in the most brutal, efficient, and darkly hilarious language possible, total warfare. The first sign something was wrong came when the Geneva reception committee looked different. Not the standard bureaucrats with press suits and practiced smiles. These were military personnel, lots of them, with very big guns. Ambassador Vex'tar's lead translator, a neural-linked AI with extensive cultural databases, began rapidly recalculating probabilities. Something was decidedly not following standard first contact protocols. Welcome, representatives of the Krel'nax Confederacy, the lead human representative announced. Colonel Marcus Reyes, former Special Forces, current head of Earth's First Contact Response Unit. A man who looked like he ate diplomatic protocols for breakfast and gargled with weaponized sarcasm. Vex'tar's translator interpreted the greeting, translated it again, ran it through 17 different linguistic matrices. The result remained consistent, a polite welcome that felt like a loaded weapon. We are prepared to discuss your proposal, Reyes continued, though I suspect our discussion might be brief. Brief was an understatement. The next 60 seconds would be studied by xenohistorians for centuries, not as a model of diplomatic engagement, but as a masterclass in catastrophic miscalculation. Krel'nax noticed something first. The humans weren't just prepared, they were expecting something. Something very specific. His tertiary visual receptor caught the micro-adjustments in military positioning, the way hands rested just centimeters from weapon holsters, the calculated calm that promised imminent violence. Ambassador, Krel'nax whispered, I'm detecting anomalous threat indicators. Vex'tar waved him silent. A fatal mistake. The first shot wasn't even a shot. It was a precision-guided message. A single drone round that penetrated the shuttle's quantum-shielded hull like it was tissue paper. Not to kill. Not yet. Just to demonstrate capability. Welcome to Earth. Population, extremely hostile. Humanity's first official response to the Krel'nax diplomatic mission would later be classified, sanitized, redacted, but survivors would whisper about it in dark corners of the galaxy for generations. Some species explore, some negotiate. Humans? They responded. The Situation Room at the Pentagon looked like something between a war council and a corporate board meeting, which honestly was pretty much standard for how humanity handles existential threats. Secretary of Defense Ellen Nakamura spread the holographic images across the conference table. Alien diplomatic shuttle. Forensic analysis. Casualty reports. Each image flickered with a clinical precision that barely masked the underlying rage. "They killed our diplomats," she stated, not a question. Not an observation, a declaration of impending doom. General Thomas McAllister, a grizzled veteran who'd seen everything from desert insurgencies to near-orbital conflicts, leaned back in his chair. Erection. "They thought they could kill our diplomats and walk away." The room went quiet. The kind of quiet that happens just before a storm decides to introduce itself. Admiral Rebecca Chen, head of the Unified Earth Space Command, tapped a series of coordinates on the holographic display. Star systems. Potential alien home worlds. Invasion routes. "They don't understand what they've done," Chen said, her voice a razor-sharp whisper. "They think we're going to file a complaint with some galactic UN. They think we're going to send a strongly worded letter." McAllister chuckled. It wasn't a pleasant sound. "Strongly worded letter?" he repeated. "We're going to send them a strongly worded apocalypse." The preliminary reports were illuminating. The alien diplomatic mission had been meticulously planned. Decades of observation, sophisticated cultural analysis, comprehensive threat assessments. And they had missed one fundamental truth about humanity. When cornered, humans don't negotiate. They innovate. They escalate. They obliterate. "Budget restrictions?" Nakamura asked, looking at the initial projected costs of a full-scale retaliatory campaign. McAllister snorted. "What budget restrictions?" Chen pulled up a series of classified research files. Budget projects. Experimental weapon systems, technologies so advanced they made current military hardware look like stone tools. "Everything," she said simply. "We're going to use everything." The meeting wasn't about if humanity would respond. It was about how completely they would respond. Some species explore the stars. Humanity was about to redecorate the galaxy with a very specific message: do not mess with us. 2 weeks after the diplomatic incident, the world looked different. Not dramatically so, if you didn't know what to look for. But beneath the surface, humanity was transforming. Every research lab became a weapon design center. Every university engineering department became a rapid prototyping facility. Silicon Valley tech companies that previously argued about smartphone features now competed to design the most efficient kill systems. Dr. Evelyn Rodriguez, lead researcher at the Advanced Terrestrial Defense Initiative, stood before a holographic display that would make most alien civilizations weep. "We're not just building weapons," she explained to a room of military and scientific personnel. "We're building a statement." The statement, as it turned out, was going to be written in plasma, quantum entanglement, and pure human spite. "Our initial analysis of the alien shuttle's technology," Rodriguez continued, "reveals something fascinating. They'd been watching us for decades, but they fundamentally misunderstood everything." Colonel Marcus Reyes, who had been present during the initial incident, leaned forward. "Misunderstood what?" "That everything," Rodriguez said with a smile that could freeze nitrogen. "They thought our technological development was linear, predictable. What they didn't realize is that humans don't just innovate, we leap. The room was filled with prototypes that would make traditional military strategists weep. Quantum encrypted nanite swarms, gravitational manipulation weapons, adaptive AI combat systems that could learn and evolve faster than any biological intelligence. "We're taking every black budget project," Reyes explained, "every theoretical weapon system that was deemed too extreme or impossible, and we're turning them into very possible, but very real instruments of destruction." The global mobilization was unlike anything in human history. Countries that had been traditional rivals now worked with seamless coordination. The entire planet had been effectively united by a single, simple message from the alien diplomatic mission. "We are coming to subjugate you." Humanity's response was equally simple: try it. Military factories that had been dormant for decades roared back to life. The production lines that once created consumer electronics now stamped out weapon components with machine-like precision. Every industrial capacity was being converted, redirected, weaponized. They thought we were divided, Rodriguez muttered, reviewing the latest weapon design schematics. They thought our differences would be our weakness. Reyes chuckled. Turns out our differences are exactly what make us dangerous. The preparations weren't just military. Every sector of human society was mobilizing. Computer programmers designed viral warfare systems. Biologists weaponized genetic research. Mathematicians created computational models of destruction that made traditional war planning look like child's play. Humanity wasn't just preparing for a war. They were preparing to send a message that would echo through the galaxy for centuries. You do not mess with Earth. The first wave hit the Krel'nax border colonies like a quantum tsunami. No warnings. No diplomatic communiques, just absolute, precise destruction. Admiral Rebecca Chen's voice was calm when she gave the order. Initiate Operation Reckoning. The human strike force wasn't large, it didn't need to be. Each vessel was a technological marvel that would make most galactic civilizations question their entire understanding of warfare. Adaptive quantum shielding. Predictive AI combat systems. Weapons that didn't just destroy, they obliterated. The Krel'nax defense grid never stood a chance. Their early warning systems detected the human fleet approximately 0.03 seconds before the first wave of attacks began. Not that those 0.03 seconds made any difference. Quantum-entangled missile swarms materialized simultaneously across multiple Krel'nax colony worlds. Each missile was a miniature technological nightmare, capable of real-time adaptive targeting, quantum tunneling, and payload reconfiguration mid-flight. One Krel'nax military commander, the closest equivalent to their version of a general, watched in horror as entire planetary defense networks collapsed faster than a house of cards in a hurricane. They're not just attacking, he muttered to his subordinates. They're surgically dismantling everything we've built. The human strategy was terrifyingly elegant. No unnecessary destruction. No gratuitous violence, just precise, calculated elimination of strategic targets, planetary installations, communication networks, a defensive infrastructure. It was warfare reduced to a mathematical equation, and humanity was exceptionally good at math. Dr. Evelyn Rodriguez, watching from Earth's command center, couldn't help but smile. They thought we were primitive, she said to no one in particular. They thought we were limited. Colonel Marcus Reyes added, turns out being a Deathworld species has its advantages. The Krel'nax had spent centuries studying humanity, analyzing their technological development, mapping their social structures. They believed they understood humans. They were catastrophically wrong. Each human strike vessel carried more computational power than entire alien star systems. Each pilot was backed by AI systems that could predict and counter enemy movements faster than biological intelligence could comprehend. The counter-offensive wasn't just a military operation. It was a demonstration. A message written in the universal language of overwhelming force. You do not subjugate a species that evolved on a planet that tries to kill them every single day. You do not threaten a civilization that sees challenges as opportunities. You do not start a war with humanity, because humanity will finish it. 3 standard galactic cycles after the counteroffensive, the universe understood one thing very clearly: humanity was not to be underestimated. The Krel'nax Confederacy no longer existed, not as a political entity, not as a military power, not even as a footnote in galactic history. Ambassador Lorne Nex, the sole surviving member of the original diplomatic mission, sat in a refugee processing center, carefully transcribing the report that would become the most studied document in alien xenological archives. Humans, he dictated into the translation matrix, are not a species. They are a force of nature. The galactic community had learned a fundamental lesson. Humanity wasn't just another spacefaring civilization. They were something else entirely. A civilization that turned existential threats into opportunities. A species that viewed impossible challenges as mild inconveniences. News of the complete elimination of the Krel'nax spread quickly, and not through traditional communication channels, but through something far more effective: whispers, rumors. The kind of stories that make entire species think twice before making aggressive moves. Colonel Marcus Reyes, reviewing the final mission reports, allowed himself a small smile. "Well," he muttered, "that ought to send a message." Dr. Evelyn Rodriguez added a final notation to the comprehensive after-action report. It was short, succinct, perfectly human. A diplomatic incident resolved. Recommend minimal follow-up. The galaxy collectively held its breath. Some species began immediate diplomatic outreach to Earth. Others simply went very, very quiet. Humanity had entered the galactic stage, and they had made one thing abundantly clear. We come in peace. Absolutely terrifying, mathematically precise, technologically superior peace.